Good afternoon, Massachusetts Attorney General Martha Coakley. Today, Massachusetts and 40 other states involved in a multi-state investigation announce a settlement in the matter of TJX after a massive data breach that awoke the country to both the risks of and the need for diligence about use of confidential and personal financial data for consumer transactions. This settlement involves almost $10 million and conditions that we believe will both mitigate the damages caused by the breach in the past and help make more secure such consumer transactions in the future. By way of background, in January 2007, TJX, the Framingham, Massachusetts-based company that owns popular retailers Marshalls, TJ Maxx, and Home Goods, announced that they became aware of a massive data breach affecting millions of consumers. Soon thereafter, Massachusetts assembled a task force of over 40 attorneys general from across the country, and Massachusetts led an extensive investigation into the breach and specifically into TJX's data security policies and the procedures that were or weren't in place when the breach occurred. During the course of that investigation, we and the other states found that beginning in 2005 and continuing through 2007, several individuals had accessed sensitive personal and financial information at those TJX stores. They accomplished this in two phases. First, from July through November of 2005, the intruders exploited the wireless network of two Marshalls department stores in Miami, Florida, and accessed unencrypted data and unprotected data relating to consumer transactions dating back to 2002, information that those stores had kept on file. It is believed that more than 94 million debit and credit cards were affected during this phase one of the breach. Phase two was May through December of 2006. The intruders established a connection with the TJX payment card transaction processing server and installed what's called a sniffer, that is, a device that was able to pick up from wireless transactions the confidential information. And it captured that so-called track-to data, the data that's contained on the magnetic strip on the back of a credit or debit card, including the account numbers for those cards. We believe that this connection gave the intruders unfettered access to millions of TJX credit and debit card transactions between 2003 and 2006. Once we had learned this, we continued to investigate TJX's data security policies and procedures in place when the breach occurred. And, of course, our investigation did not include the criminal investigation. There was a parallel and ongoing federal investigation as to that. Our investigation on the civil side uncovered a number of vulnerabilities and flaws in the TJX data security system that both first facilitated that unlawful intrusion, and secondly, and perhaps even more importantly, permitted the intrusion to last undetected for a completely unacceptable duration of time. Today's settlement both reflects and incorporates the lessons that we learned from this data breach. It requires TJX to implement an information security program designed to guard against future intrusions or unauthorized disclosures. This settlement's relief in that regard is the most comprehensive settlement achieved to date following a data breach investigation. This settlement requires TJX to implement a wide-ranging number of enhancements to its data security processes. It ensures, we believe, that TJX will employ a comprehensive information security program that assesses the internal and external risks to consumers' personal information. It implements safeguards that will best protect consumer information and regularly monitors and tests the efficacy of those safeguards. It also requires TJX to provide the attorneys general with periodic updates and reports of compliance with this information security protocol. TJX is also required to notify the attorneys general within 10 days of any security breach. As to the monetary settlement, under this agreement, TJX will pay the states $9.75 million. $5.5 of that million will be dedicated to data protection and consumer protection affected by the states, to be divided among those states. $1.75 million will reimburse the costs and fees of the investigation to the states. $2.5 million of the total will fund a data security trust fund to be used by the Attorneys General to advance enforcement efforts and policy development in the field of data security and protecting consumers' personal information. Massachusetts, as the lead state in this effort, will hold the money in trust for the benefit of the states, with a committee of 5 to determine for what that money should be used. Some examples would be to research technology, best practices, protocol, and model legislation, as well as to develop and implement programs, education, and outreach for data security to protect consumers. Massachusetts will receive nearly $1 million of the total paid, some to be used for attorney's fees, and Massachusetts will use the remainder of the fees to enhance existing protection for consumer personal data, including consumer education and resolution of reported breaches to the Massachusetts Attorney General Office under our own law regarding data privacy. TJX has been cooperative with the Attorneys General throughout this investigation, and we believe that by reaching today's settlement, we avoid lengthy and extensive litigation, and we also provide both accountability for TJX, given this massive breach, and also allow the states with TJX to improve consumer protections for their customers and others throughout the country. We believe it is a successful settlement. Thank you.